guys, I'm back. I'm going to tell you why I love these second generation RAV4s. If you guys have one, tell me how reliable, how ridiculously reliable these things are. Here it is. Okay, now it has gone through a lot. This is a 2002 RAV4. Okay, and I bought this thing about 8 years ago, and it had close to 200,000 miles. Actually, I think it had a little less than 200,000 miles when I bought it. And honestly, it's just an extra vehicle, so I haven't put a lot of miles on it. It's got over 210,000 miles. Let's take a look real quick. But just wanted to kind of give you guys an update on how this thing is holding up. I mean, honestly, it's a freaking tank. Okay, now it takes a beating and it just keeps on going, man. Like, this thing is seriously, I love the interior space on these things. And those seats over there, they come out and you can fold them down. So lots of space, guys, lots of space. I think I paid like $3,000 for this thing. Again, this was like 8 years ago. The inside still looks really good. Like, the seats over here, still pretty good condition, you know. I mean, it could definitely use a cleaning, but I'll tell you what, this thing has been so trouble-free. Okay, like super trouble-free. Let me start it up here and we'll take a look and I'll tell you what I've done to it. 210,000 miles, guys. The engine is still purring. Like, listen to that engine. Okay, there it is. It's a smooth sounding engine. It's got no funny ticks or anything like that. This thing is a freaking tank. Okay, now I love this. I love the Toyotas that were built in the 90s and the 2000s for so many reasons. Number one, they are just ridiculously easy to maintain. Underneath, you'll see it's an easy reach to get to the oil filters, and it's super easy to change your automatic transmission fluid. The bolts are really close to each other. Listen to that. Just started it up. Okay. Now, ever since I've had this for the last 8+ years, and I put in over 10,000 miles on it, the only things that I've done was I replaced all the fluids. This is a 2-wheel drive, so there's no rear fluid change. But I've replaced the transmission fluid, obviously the engine oil. I put in new spark plugs. I also put in new spark plug, what do they call those things? I'll show you. My mind just kind of spaced out. These guys. Okay. So those are all brand new as well. I actually did put in a new valve gasket right here. Just for kicks and giggles. I think it might have been leaking a little bit when I bought it, but it was super easy to do, guys. Like, this thing just pops right off. Okay. Probably the only. I also replaced the antifreeze, the battery as well. Throughout the years, it's got a newer Costco battery. The brakes were fine in this vehicle. I think the only thing I need to do is flush out some of the fluids here. I mean, the power steering fluid is pretty dark. I can definitely change that out. So I've got a couple small things left still to do with this thing. It's got new, I think I put new front struts in all around. And I took off the other wheels, the original wheels that it came with, and I upgraded it with some larger tires. These are 225, 65, 17, and they seem to ride just fine. Now, this vehicle on the freeway is smooth, okay? Like, damn, it drives pretty good. No issues at all. I haven't had any problems with this, and that's why I bought this RAV4, because they're just known for their hardcore reliability, and it's been a great backup vehicle. It's never failed us at all. And so I've had many other family members just drive this when their other vehicles, you know, had issues or problems. You know, like my wife, she drove this when her Subaru Forester had to get worked on for things like that. But yeah, man, let's go inside. Okay, so one thing it does have, it's got that check engine, okay? And so the check engine light is actually due because of this oxygen sensors. And, you know, living in Washington State, they don't do emissions testing, so it doesn't really matter. You just pay for your tags. Now, I don't have any smoke coming off the back on startups or anything like that, so it seems to be running fine. It's smooth. You know, there's my RPMs. If you listen carefully, you can hear it. It just sounds great. Let's see what else. The air conditioning doesn't work in this one. You know, when I first bought it, it never worked, and I tried recharging it and having it diagnosed and looked at, but pretty much it's completely out. Living in the Northwest, it's not terribly hot, except for today. It's supposed to be like 90 plus degrees. But again, this is a backup car, so I'm cool with that. So far, the windows are working. Like at 210,000 miles, this thing was built, God, over 20 years ago. Things are still working. No, I'm not going to expect everything to work, but things are still working. The engine's still running. I'm going to turn it off. Yeah, man, I've been so happy. And guess what? Like, do you guys think this vehicle has lost any value since I bought it 8 years ago? I mean, no, it hasn't. And that's one of the reasons why I'm probably never going to sell this thing. It's so easy to work on. It's low tech. I'll probably do an oil change here in a little bit, just kind of show you guys how I do it, but it's super easy. You don't even have to jack up your vehicle. It's just you reach underneath and you swap out the oil filter and you're done, and then you just pour in the new oil. Like, that's what I love about this vehicle. Again, I use that. One of the things that I've noticed is that the locks, especially the driver lock, because it gets worn out after 20 years, it doesn't lock very well. It just kind of, when it gets hot, it doesn't open up. So like, this is kind of a common problem. I mean, I think it's the door actuator, and this is a common problem after your vehicle gets like super old. Okay, so over 20 years old, guys, it's not going to be perfect, but mechanically, this thing is solid. I have two RAV4s. The other one I have is a 2001 RAV4, and it's got even more miles. It's at my other location, and it's the white one that you've seen in some of my previous videos that I've done some videos on. It's actually in better condition, and it's got more miles. And when I mean better, like aesthetically, it looks better. It's, you know, it's also the four-wheel drive version, so that runs really good too. So I've got two of these RAV4s. Hell, I'd buy another one if I find a good deal out there. I'll snap it up. But it's just amazing how these cars are just so ridiculously reliable. The early model 2000s had some ECU or EME, I think it's ECU issues with the electronics of controlling the transmission shifting. They fixed that on a recall a long time ago when it first happened. But if you find vehicles like this with the original transmission and it's been changed out, these things will run forever. Okay, so again, I love this vehicle. The things that I've done is just general maintenance and tune-ups. I don't go out of my way to baby this thing at all. I just, honestly, if you look at the hood, I just got a can of black spray paint, okay, and just sprayed it. You know, maybe one day I'll give it a real paint job. But she's just a great car to 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 putter around in and get you to point A to point B. So tell me what you think of these cars and if you've had them. I love Toyotas, especially again from the early 2000 models, the 1990s and up. Awesome vehicles, guys. Awesome engineering. I miss this type of technology. I miss this old school way of how they built these vehicles. They're just tanks. So they're kind of a rare find, and I plan on keeping this until honestly the wheels fall off. Let's see, what else have I done to this thing other than the tires? That was it. That's it. I didn't do anything to this. I didn't lose any money off this. If anything, I might have even gained because it's just held its value so well. So give it a thumbs up, guys. All right. Tell me how your RAV4s are doing.